And thanks for staying with us. The Electoral Commission says Parliament is undermining its efforts at having a credible voters register to organise the elections for the nation. For more than a year now, the EC has failed to convince MPs to approve a new constitutional instrument which outlaws the use of the guarantor system to register as a voter. In its place, the Commission proposed the use of the Ghana card as a sole identity document to register as a voter. In a rare bipartisan move, both the NPP and the National Democratic Congress MPs rejected the proposed recommendations to the EC, maintaining that the guarantor system is a position that the EC has disagreed with and refused to comply with, maintaining that it has a draft CI. Well, let's get more from my colleague Kweku Asante, who was at the press briefing that the EC organized today. Kweku, thanks for joining us. Tell us more about what the chairperson of the EC has been saying, and just before we're listening to that address that she made today, what more can you say?
Well, Blessed, the Electoral Commission chairperson, Madam Mensa, started her address with an onslaught on the guarantor system as we know it. She says it is fraught with challenges. It is allowing foreigners to decide for us who should lead us. And that is, in fact, the basis upon which the Electoral Commission is seeking to amend the CA that is currently before the House to make way for the new system which will outlaw the guarantor system. Let's listen to Madam Mensa as she attacks the principle, the way the guarantor system works, and why the Electoral Commission cannot simply work with it.
As a commission that is determined to conduct credible, transparent, fair and peaceful elections, we were keen to establish and uphold the integrity of the foundational document, which is the voters' register. Hence our proposal to use a Ghana card as the sole document for identification of a person's citizenship as well as age. Our experience from the 2020 registration exercise, ladies and gentlemen, showed that several minors and foreigners using the window of the guarantor system found their way onto our roll. To rid the register of minors and foreigners in 2020, the Electoral Commission established the district registration review committees, which worked for several weeks to delete the names of minors and foreigners from the register. It took substantial time and effort to expunge the names of illegal persons from our roll. During the registration, some 40,000 minors and foreigners were challenged, and we managed to expunge some 15,000 minors and foreigners from the register. This number is one too many, considering that in a time past, we elected a president with less than 40,000 votes between the first and second runners-up. In our view, this should not be countenanced or tolerated by any quarters, as it has the potential of undermining the credibility of our elections. The question we ask ourselves is, why should we continue to use the guarantor system, which opens the door to corrupt and illegal practices and undermines the credibility of our register some 30 years after it was first introduced, and especially now when nearly 18 million Ghanaians above the age of 15 years have the Ghana card.
So, Kweku, there you have it, the position of the Electoral Commission on this matter. Madam Mensa's response to the question you posed about whether or not the EC will listen to the recommendation of Parliament to include the guarantor system. What's, the response from the chairperson of the EC?
Blessed. So, on the 31st of March, Parliament agreed, consensus, rare move on both sides to recommend to the Electoral Commission to amend its proposed CI to include the guarantor system. Madam Mensa said that is not something that is up for discussion. It will not be considered at all. Let's listen to it.
Draft CI that is before Parliament, we do not intend to put back the guarantor system, because we do not believe that the guarantor system has augured well for us. 30 years ago, when we took this journey and we did not have, a Ghana card, it was only proper that we adopt a system that would ensure that people who didn't have any documentation could come on board. 30 years on as an evolving democracy, we now have the Ghana card, and we are saying that we must rely on it by the very laws that Parliament made. That is the LI 2111. And it's the surest way of ensuring or guaranteeing the integrity of our register. We noted that in 2020, persons who qualified to vote around the country challenged some 40,000 minors and foreigners. And it took a lot of effort, time, and money to expunge some 15,000 minors and foreigners from the roll. And this is one too many. Can you imagine these minors and foreigners shaping the destiny of this country? You know, and we know that in the past we've had very tight margins. And so we must be committed as a country to work towards ensuring the integrity of our role and to ensure that only those who qualify, you know, are on the roll. Where in this world can we go to the United States and say we want to go and vote for their president? And so why are we allowing that here? And it's a well-known fact that the guarantor system is a door and a window to allow such corrupt and illegal practices. It is well known. There's documentation available that in 2020, foreigners were brought on board from across borders. I myself saw a video of a vehicle with French nationals who couldn't speak any language. You know, and so we are saying that we have evolved. Our mandate and our desire is to ensure that the register is credible. And by so doing, the intention is not to disenfranchise anybody. Having a credible register of persons who qualify, only eligible Ghanaians, is not to disenfranchise anybody. What and who we are preventing are foreigners and minors, and they do not qualify. And so we intend to maintain the draft CI.
Quickly, here's the point, and it's a fact as well, that the Ghana card has not been issued to all eligible Ghanaians. We agree. So how does the EC intend to deal with it?
You know, the Electoral Commission says it is going to wait for the National Identification Authority to mop up and register as many Ghanaians as possible. We know that the CI is not before Parliament. And because of this, the Electoral Commission cannot wait, and they have to go ahead and do district level elections. They also have to go ahead and register voters who have turned 18. In fact, since 2020, the Electoral Commission has not registered new voters. It's one of the reasons why the NDC and the Haruna Iddrisu were raising a lot of concerns against the Electoral Commission. But that is some of the issues that they have to deal with currently. And according to the Electoral Commission, they will now have to rely on the NIA to mop up, register as many Ghanaians as possible so that they can go ahead and register those persons. But like she said, clearly, the Electoral Commission has no thought at all on backing down on that demand to make the Ghana card the sole identity document.
And we must point out that regardless, the limited registration exercise will continue. That's because the district assembly elections will have to proceed. So how will the EC deal with that, knowing that there's an upcoming district level elections?
Well, so the Electoral Commission is disappointed that Parliament is not supporting it. In fact, the Electoral Commission chairperson, Madam Mensa, makes the point that she believes the Electoral Commission is not being supported by Parliament to do its work. The Parliament may be undermining it in terms of how it continues to be able to deliver credible elections. Let's listen to Madam Mensa there, making that point that Parliament is not supporting it in terms of their ability to organize transparent, free and fair elections.
How can we continue to rely on the guarantor system to identify a citizen? How can we continue to rely on the guarantor system to identify who a citizen is when Parliament has by itself passed a legislative instrument which states that for the purpose of identification of a citizen of Ghana, the Ghana card will be the sole document to be relied upon? And here, permit me to quote Regulation 7.1 of LI 2111, which states that a national identity card issued to an individual shall be used for a number of transactions where identification is required. One of the mandatory transactions stated in Regulation 7.1 is the registration of voters. It is therefore unfortunate that after making and passing a law that established the Ghana card as a sole means of identification of a citizen, we are by ourselves undermining the very law that we have made. As a commission, we find it unfortunate that our efforts to strengthen the credibility and integrity of our voters register, and by extension, our elections, by the introduction of the draft CI, did not receive the support of Parliament. Members of Parliament were of the view that the NIA should fully operationalize its mandate before the CI could be considered. Sadly, as we all know, the NIA has not fully commenced its operations nationwide due to a lack of resources. That leaves us with no option than to rely on the current CI with its inherent challenges to conduct a voters' registration exercise until such time as the NIA would become fully operational.
So it's confirmed they were set to announce a new date for the limited registration exercise, and by extension, even the district level elections. Has that been cleared off the way now? Do we know when the elections will come off?
Yes, Blessed. As we speak, the Electoral Commission has firmed up the 12th of September to the 2nd of October to do the limited registration exercise. The minority had raised concerns together with the NDC that they wanted this registration exercise to take place at the electoral level, that is your polling station. The Electoral Commission said it's not doing that. It's going to hold this registration exercise at the district level. So all 267 offices of the Electoral Commission, including the newly created Guan district, you can go there and do your registration. There have been questions to the Electoral Commission chairperson that there are so many communities that are very far off from the district level. He says that if persons are willing to vote, they must be willing to put in some effort to be able to register. The district level election would have suffered a few postponement is now firming up, and on the 19th of December this year, the Electoral Commission will organize that election as well.
The main challenge with that district level election has been the issue about participation, the fact that there's significantly a low voter turnout. How different does the EC want to act now to endear more persons to that patriotic or national exercise?
Mensa starts off by saying that she wants to share that responsibility with the media. She believes that if the media dedicated some part of their time every day to draw attention to the district level election, it will be a success. And so she in particular wants every media house dedicate 10 minutes every day to talk about the district level elections. But the question also is that if so many people cannot register, the participation will be low. Historically, like you said, the voter record for district level election have been completely low. The Electoral Commission says it is going to partner with all agencies, NCC among others, to drive up the numbers at the various polling stations. That is something that they cannot do without the support of the general public. They want the buy-in of everybody to come on board, so that on the 19th of December, when the Ghanaian goes to the poll to elect their district level representative, that kind of participation will be that high. But the Electoral Commission knows that over the years, the voting record has simply been low, and they will try to do their best to raise the numbers this time around.
Okay, almost forgot about that, but you're in Parliament. Have you interacted with any of the MPs? Any reaction to this press conference by the EC so far?
Well, so MPs are still divided ordinarily on political party lines. We know that at the time the EC laid a CI, the minority opposed, the majority were for it. But on the 31st of March, some deal making happened in Parliament. There were some taxes to be passed, and there was some sort of arrangement that, okay, support us do this, we'll support you in your opposition to the ECCI. So in a rare bipartisan move, the majority joined their colleagues on the minority side to issue a report, which was signed by the Speaker of Parliament himself, Urban Bagman, to the Electoral Commission, recommending that the guarantor system is put back in the CI. What the EC says today, they are not going to listen to that. The MP say that if the EC does not listen to us, then the EC will not get to lay their CI. Mind you, the Electoral Commission does not have audience on the floor, so Madam Mensa cannot come on the floor and lay the CI. She would normally have to do that through the majority leader. And if the majority leader has an agreement with the minority, he's bound by it. If he doesn't go by it, it will mean that in future, he will suffer if he is to get the minority to cooperate on any issue. But I must maintain that if the majority breaks rank with the minority and decide that they are going to support the EC, the CI can't be laid, because to be able to annul the EC CI after it's laid, you need 2/3 majority to do that, and the NDC does not have that.
I see. Grateful.